Hello, everybody. Hello. How we doing? Evening to you. Evening to you all. Yes. Tell me. Hey, guys, if you're here to win in life, type the word win. Let me know that you are ready by typing that word win in the chat and making sure you heart this and making sure you share it before. I'm not the host, even though I'm the one starting the meeting. I'm not the host of today's meeting. I'm sort of a guest on my own page because we are going to be discussing my book launch. Excuse my energy, it will pick up as I go along. I have been in bed all day. Literally just, let me just make sure. Fantastico. Hope you guys are ready. Great to have you on here. Let me know where you're watching me from as well. Just post your flag. Post the flag of your country in the chat. Let me know where you are watching from, and I'm going to have fun with flags and try and guess what flag that your country is. I'm really bad with flags. I'm a living testimony by your last crusade in Benin City. Oh, love to hear it. USA. Yeah, I know the US flag when I see it. Let's see, what's this flag? Oh, you've come to shame me. I have no idea what that flag is. Lankaya, I have no idea. It looks French to me. I know the US flag. Ralph, I'm sorry, I don't have a clue what flag that is. I'm not even going to try and guess. Kemi, I see Kenya. Kenisha, I'm seeing Britain and Jamaica. Nubian, oh, that's Janella. Flag is that? I want to say Uganda. Watching from Britain. Awesome. Yes, I know the Kenya flag when I see it. Awesome. Nigeria and USA. Welcome to you. UK and I'm not going to guess this. Okay, so that's the Caribbean. Saint Martin in the Caribbean. Okay. Awesome. Neola. Watching from the USA. Neola. That's what they call it in the States. Uganda. Awesome. The Uganda flag. You know something? I have a strange, do I call it an anointing? Holland. Okay, got it. Congo. Awesome. I have a strange connection to Uganda. I don't know what it is, but all my church organizations are filled with Ugandans. You guys are putting Uganda on the map. I'm now learning so much about Uganda. I'm having my spiritual daughter's wedding coming up, and she's doing, what do they call it in your culture? I forget what your traditional wedding is called. Someone help me. Canada, I see your flag. Hi from the States. Welcome to you guys. It's such a pleasure to be with you for this next hour. If you guys can help me, if you're part of any groups that I'm in, just shake up the groups and tell them that we are live. And we're going to be discussing, that's it, the Kwanjala. That's what I'm doing tomorrow. Or Friday, I can't remember which day now. I'm doing a Kwanjala, yes. But guys, I'm going to welcome very shortly our host with the most, who is going to be introducing, really talking today. As you all know, I'm working on my book called Win. I tell you, I've had some kind of a flu, tonsil flare, all kinds of stuff today. I was asked if I want to cancel this meeting. I said absolutely not. I think in the spirit of Win, I can't cancel the meeting, even though I've been bedridden for the past few days. I cannot cancel the meeting because I got to show, I've got to be the book itself. And one of the laws of champions is you got to be tough. You got to be tough. You can't not show up because you're ill. You know, when you have a job, you can like tell your boss, I can't show up today because I'm ill. But when you're the boss, you're the owner, you can't be ill. Sickness has to have an understanding. Do you get what I'm saying? You have to sit your sickness down and say, you need to understand how I work. I can't do this for very long. So, you know, when you're an employee, you can be ill for 2 weeks. But when you're an entrepreneur, businessman, CEO, leader of church, you have to talk to your sickness and say, hey, listen, you and I need to have an understanding. You can come knocking, but you can't last here. And so you got to get out. So I find that about people who are serious entrepreneurs. I want to welcome our host today, which is a bit weird, the guest welcoming the host, but I want to welcome the host today of today. I've met this gentleman not so long ago now, and he's already had such an impact on my life. Dr. Stephen McIntyre is a serial winner, serial entrepreneur in the real estate space. He wrote the books which I have here that I've been reading, Billionaire's Code, and Billionaire's Habits as well. He's known as Africa's leading success coach and also real estate guru. He lives in Dubai. In the tallest building on the planet, the Burj Khalifa. It's with a great honor that I welcome him as he takes us through the evening and seeing him show up shortly. Dr. Stephen, are you there? There we go.
What's going on?
There we go. How are you doing?
Okay. I just got to Nigeria today, so I'm joining us from Nigeria.
You're in Nigeria, right? Wow.
Yes, I got in 3 p.m. Today. But Temi was asking whether I was gonna do this. I said, nah. Like you said, the title is too powerful. Gotta do this. I can't cancel.
Yeah, I've been in bed like all day, literally, just trying to conserve my energy for today. I had some kind of tonsillitis or flu that happened, but I said because of the title is about, we got to show what it's about. So I decided let me come on the call today and not postpone.
Yeah. Wow. Well, welcome everybody, and it's good to be here. The book is Win, and what we're going to be doing is to ask Apostle a couple of questions, right? So most of what we're going to be discussing will be in the book. Congratulations that you, every one of you, are kind of part of that journey as we put together the book. I'm going to be working with Apostle's team so that next week we have a landing page ready. For some of you want to pre-book the book, so you can go way ahead, and you definitely will be getting the book even before it's officially out. So we're going to make sure that landing page is ready next week. So let's get started. My first question is, why must I win? Why must I win? A lot of times I've seen people say this, and I believe a lot of people reading the book and who will buy the book will say, why is winning important? So why must I win, really?
I think any manufacturer makes a product to be successful. That's the objective of the product. And success for the product is determined by the design of the product itself. You know, if I make a microphone and my children use it as a drumstick, that is called abuse. Abuse means abnormal usage. It's against its design. So for any successful manufacturer, their joy is that their product is a reflection of who they are. And we are a reflection of God, you know. And this is a truth, whether we know it or not. We are here to represent him, not just, I wonder I sometimes wonder if we'd be able to preach the gospel if somebody cut our tongue out. That's what I'm. Can you say nothing and your light shines? And there are a whole lot of people in our world whose talk is bigger than their walk. And talk a big talk, they talk a big game, but the talk is so much bigger than the walk. And so win is all about what is success. It's fulfilling the design and the original thought of the manufacturer when you were made. That's
so I'm manufactured to win.
Yes, you were manufactured to. I think it's important that people know they were created. I think that's a very important thing. I think our world is riddled with contradictions where people say, in one essence, you are the result of evolution, and at the same time, or you a creature, and a creation. That means to say that you were the result of an accident. The most complicated book in the whole world, the most complicated book in perfect alphabetical order is DNA. It is the most complicated book on the planet. Yet to say that I am the result of an accident is to say this really, it would be the same thing as saying this book here, let's say I exploded this book, exploded. And somehow, after the explosion, it came into order. Everything came into play. All the paragraphs and full stops were in the right place, in order. It's the same belief system where you believe that you're the result of a cosmic accident, an explosion, a biological soup that evolved into Homo sapiens. When you believe that you are created, you start to deviate away from accountability, because if you're a created product, every created product must be tested if it can be approved. Every created thing is judged. Tesla releases its cars, it will do a test sample, it will find out what the faults are, and it will recall if it's not a good product, or it will fix if it's not. In the same way, sometimes I think what we've done in our postmodern world is we've got rid of God because the age of enlightenment, the scientific era came about, and the age of enlightenment, and a lot of guys like Dawkins were not necessarily scientific atheists. They were ended with God. This is what I always say. I've never really met an atheist, only an angry orphan. I often see and then they use science and logic to explain it. And then what happens is you and I go to school and we're taught that we were the result of some cosmic explosion or accident that nobody can tell us who caused it or who started it. So you're still left back with God at the end of the day. And somebody wants to tell me I was the result of an evolution, and the aggression in pursuing that path, instead of understanding that actually we are so complex that anybody with a brain can say, I'm designed. That statement by William Paley, the philosopher, who talks about finding a watch on a beach. Can you find a watch on a beach with all its perfect order, everything in alignment, and say this happened as a result of an accident? No, it's clear and obvious that there is design at play. And I think this is the one thing that we often miss out on. And we think, I think one day all of us are going to have to give an account, not for what we did with our life, but what we were made to do and how much it built.
So I will have to give an account of my wins at the end of the day.
Correct.
So what's the opposite of winning?
The opposite of winning is, in my knowledge, I would say losing, but losing itself has a cause: ignorance. Ignorance. The biggest disease on the planet is not COVID-19 or cancer, any of those things. The greatest disease on the planet is ignorance. An even greater disease than ignorance is arrogance, because ignorance says I don't know. Arrogance says I'm proud of not knowing. Ignorance says somebody else has done the thinking for me. I don't really need to think anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So we
Mm-hmm.
society of non-thinkers. People don't read,
Mm-hmm.
seldom discover. And what happens is, if you don't read, you don't take time to discover, you don't take time to find out who you are and what image you are made in and all that, life becomes an experiment. And frustration is the only reward for that experiment. And so you start to experiment with your life, experiment with your time, experiment with the people around you. So I would say the antithesis of winning is ignorance. For lack of knowledge, people perish. What you don't know about yourself is detrimental. We are supposed to be like light shining in this world. We're supposed to be transformers, but people have not even lit their candle yet. They walk so much darkness, and yet even so many others are walking in someone else's light. Think that it's their own. I don't believe the job of leaders is so that people can walk in our light. I believe the job of leaders is to ignite people to find out what light's in them. Yes, inspire first, but then ignite you as well, light you up, because we cannot do this world an injustice by not experiencing what's on the inside of you too. So that would be my answer. The opposite of
So that means I am not winning because I'm ignorant.
yes. A lot of people, the number one reason they're not winning is ignorance. And I'd say even deeper than that, a lot of people are not winning because of willful ignorance. They are an active participant in ensuring that they remain ignorant. Because the truth is, once you know who you are, you lose the right to excuses. Right.
Deep.
Once you discover
That's powerful.
who you are as an individual, you are no loud. Suddenly you are responsible now. And the truth is, not many want to be responsible. I was reading just the other day a biblical epic where Jesus meets a man crippled from birth. That means his neurons are not firing to his legs. There's no way they can move. Even if this man wants it to move, it's not going to move. And Jesus says, won't you get better? I thought, wait. This guy is crippled. That's the most unpolitically correct thing you can say to a cripple. To look at somebody, basically, Jesus saying, you are without excuse. Basically, and the man started saying his excuses. I tried to get into water and nobody there to help me and all this stuff. But the truth is, if he really wanted to get better, he wouldn't wait for the angel to stir the water. He'll just stay in the water all night. How about that? This is
Someone wants to say hello to you, my first son.
Hey, what's up? What's your name?
Divine.
Say again.
What's the Tobi? He said, what's your name?
Divine.
His name is Divine.
Oh, good to meet you. Good to meet you.
His name is Divine Surprises. That's his name. Full name. Divine Surprises.
I love it. I love it.
This is Apostle Tobi.
Good to meet you, man.
Good afternoon. I mean, good evening, Apostle Mr. Tobi.
Apostle Mr. Tobi. I wanted him to cheer up your day. Please go ahead.
Thank you for that. Yes, so I would say that that's the antithesis. It's willful ignorance. It's the desire because if suddenly we know who we are, we're responsible. We're accountable for what we know. And so, they say ignorance is bliss. I mean, who of us wants responsibility? That's the truth. When I know who I am, suddenly I became responsible. I can't tell why I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm just responsible. I have to do what I do. So the discovery of your gifting, your calling, your assignment suddenly shoots you into a level of responsibility that you wouldn't even get away with even if you're crippled. And I like this because this man was crippled. I think that's the same thing as the spirit of poverty. It's a crippling of the mind. And it's a willful participation with that crippling. Because that man was paralyzed, I said, but he said, nobody's there to help me get into the water. Crippled people are full of excuses. Because what he could have done is he could have said, leave me in this water. Don't bring, I'm staying here all night till morning till that angel shows up. Because when you want it, you'll find 1,000 ways. When you don't want it, you'll find 1,000 excuses. And so many are just full of excuses because they, they really don't want what they say they want.
So how do I discover, will I say my displeasure that's affected my ability to win, or how do I discover my excuses? Because sometimes people are not even aware that they're giving excuses. One of the powerful scripture that really gets at me, and I always share this about the fact that food are meant for children, you don't give it to dogs. First of all, this is a woman. If it was this generation, Jesus was going to be stoned. All right, because that is it misogyny or what do they call it now? First of all, you're talking to a woman, you call her a dog, but like you're saying, the woman wasn't going to give the excuse of arrogance, of pride. She was like, look, even dogs are entitled to crumbs from the table. You know what? Just get me what I need and let me move on. Not many of us do not realize that we're giving excuses, that we're ignorant, but we know there's displeasure, there's pain. How do I discover that?
Well, see, I say in the book that I'm working on, that the first key to discovery of your success in life is hidden in your displeasure. It's hidden in your displeasure. A lot of us have learned to tolerate displeasure. Somebody told me, was speaking to me just yesterday, we were working on my social media. They said, when the UK gets into recession, then I said, what do you mean when the UK gets into recession? I said, we're already in recession. Said, my mom's a dentist, and I was with her the other day, and she put some injections in my mouth to fix some things in my teeth. So she put some injections in my mouth. She said, Tobi, if I put the first one in, the first one's going to hurt. I said, after that, you won't feel the pain anymore. Of the second injection, she put in maybe 4 or 5 because I wasn't numbing properly. And so I wasn't feeling it after a while. And it was so cool. So what I started doing was I started biting my lip and chewing on it because I'm not feeling any pain. And I thought, this is an amazing phenomenon. I'm not feeling any pain right now. I'm biting that thing. When the morphine wore off,
Oh boy,
I was in a world of pain. World of pain. And let me put it like this. So many of us are on morphine. Our economy is on morphine. Netflix is morphine. Social is morphine. Instagram, TikTok, all these things are morphine. These are dopamine reactants and stimulants that allow us to medicate our own lack of success in life. We will spend hours scrolling through somebody else's life, watching them live, watching them succeed, watching them do what they do, and we will not go out and achieve it ourselves. And we are slowly being medicated against our own pain. And yet you need to feel pain. Even when my wife was giving birth, the pain was necessary. Because if she didn't feel it, she wouldn't know when to push. So at one point, they had to take away the numbing effect from her so that she would know when it was time to push. He said, if we keep on numbing you now, you won't know when your body is telling you it's time to release, it's time to push, and you won't be able to give birth to that baby or you'll endanger the life of that baby. We often use the verse, don't cast your pearl to swine. Why? Because if you want to ask the cost of the pearl, you've got to ask the oyster, because the oyster had some parasite, some dirt that came into it, and when that happened, it caused extreme pain. heat and pressure was used to crystallize this dirt and turn it into a pearl. In the same way, sometimes you go through certain things in life and you can turn these into pearls. And we have to be so careful that we don't give our pearls to people who won't do anything with it, who won't receive it with the precious mindset it was intended to be received with. So pain is so necessary. I was watching a show with Oprah Winfrey, and she was talking specifically to children who don't feel pain. And I just want to remember what the disease was called. It was a unique disease, but essentially there's these kids who don't feel pain. I can't remember the name of it, but essentially these kids were putting their hand in a fireplace and the entire hand burnt off. One of them bit their whole face off and didn't even feel the pain. And I saw these parents crying their eyes out, I mean weeping their eyes out, because their children could not feel pain. And I thought, wait, because at first I thought, what a really cool superpower to not be able to feel pain.
Yeah.
Wow, superhero power I want.
Yeah.
I don't want to feel, but to see one of these parents breaking down, crying to God that their children would be able to feel pain. I mean, it was then I realized pain is one of God's greatest gifts to us.
Wow.
Don't learn how to use and utilize pain. Pain itself is what is utilized when God wants to birth children. Pain is necessary. Yeah, the disease is called SEPA. I was trying to get the breakdown of it. But basically, these kids feel no pain. And I'll tell you, every successful person I know was compelled by pain. There was a displeasure in their life that they could not ignore. When you want to raise eagles, the mother eagle knows at some point I've got to inflict some pain on these children. I've got to make the environment uncomfortable so that they're forced to move from mediocrity to soar in the sky where they're meant to soar. So I got to remove this padding, this sense of softness, this sense of comfort from this nest so we can create greatness. Even in gynecology, my dad was a gynecologist, and I asked him, what do you call the sperm that makes it to the egg? He says, we call that the champion seed. Think about this. Think about how life began as a race. How life began as a race. Say over 100 million spermatozoes were released at that time through the fallopian tube. Each one racing, only one will get that prize. Personalities, 23 chromosomes racing for one egg with 23 chromosomes so there can be fertilization. Life has given us a lesson of how it's going to be by how it started. It whittled the weak ones. It got rid. Life only rewarded the winner. It only rewarded the one who made it to the egg. And we call that one the champion seed. That means if you're here today on planet Earth, you survived over 100,000 different personalities. You came out as the strongest in that DNA strand. Your 23 chromosomes, whether you're crippled, whether you can't think properly, whether you're dyslexic or whatever, you still, by that journey, out-championed everybody around you. So think about it. You've begun life as a winner. You started from championship. You made it here not to go ahead and die and give up. You've made it. Life began with a race. It began with trial. And that was a bloody race. Even though it exists at a microbiological level, it was an epic race to make it. You are the champion seed. So now you're here on earth. You best show us the reason why you won that race. You best reveal and unlock. You know what scientists call our DNA? They call it the book of life. That means locked inside of your DNA are still books. There's still lessons. There's still things inside of you yet to be released. So we want to see the power of that released. That's why I'm writing this book called Win, because you ask me, what's my whole life been about? If I sit down, it's defined in these one word, win. Win. I want people to win. I want everybody to win in their prayer life, win in your spiritual life, win in your marital life, win in your emotional life. Derek, Arale, good to see you on here. Win in your emotional life, win in your business life. So it's all about winning in every area of life. I think Dr. Stevens' video has frozen. I'm going to see if I can cut him off and bring him back on. Guys, are we doing good? How are you finding this so far? If you're enjoying this live session, please do me a favor and help me share the live. Share the live. We should not just have 165 people on here. Usually we have around 300 people on my lives. Please do me a favor and share this live and tell somebody they need to watch the live right now. I'm trying to get Dr. Stephen back on. But in the meantime, do you have any questions about what's been said so far? Please, if you wish to, type them in the question and answer space. Also, I can see that if you want, you can pre-order the book. You can actually pre-order the book. I think the link is in the question and answer space. I've just seen it. Pre-order the Win book at https://bit.ly the Win book, or something like that. I'm just trying to get Dr. Akintayo back on. Oh, Steve Harris, good to see you. Good to see you. I'm trying to get you back on, so I've accepted your request, but nothing's happening. I keep clicking accept. Let's try this. You may need to, I'm not sure, but you may need to drop off and come back on the call. You might need to swipe up and lock off and come back on the call. It says Stephen McIntyre is unable to join. So you may need to swipe up, shut down your Instagram completely, and then try and come back on the call. Hello, guys. How's it going? Shonda, good to see you on here. And Nichelle, what's good? What's good? But guys, if you can, help me share it while we get Dr. Stephen back on. I think his reception wasn't. Not to give up, you have raised a giant within me. God bless you. God bless you. Thank you for that encouragement. Can you share the link for the book again? I believe it's in the question and answer space. I'm trying to get Dr. Stephen back on, but it's not working. I keep accepting him and it doesn't work. If Temi's on here, maybe Temi can take over, I'm not sure. Or if Temi's on here, I can test to see if it's an issue with the my live itself. I believe the book will be on Audible and all other formats. Or Temi, if you can call Dr. Stephen, I'm not sure where he is. There is no question section. There definitely is a question section. It says Dr. Stephen unable to join the live. But guys, let me while I wait for Dr. Stephen to come back on. Okay, few requests. Let's see if it works. If it's not working, then maybe my dear friend Temi can. Let's see if I can accept Temi. I'm trying to accept it. I may have to shut down the live and restart it because maybe it's my end. Because I'm accepting.
Hey.
How's it going? I don't know what's going on with Dr. Stephen's
Internet, yes. I'm not sure what happened.
Yeah, I tried to back on, but now then
I'm sure he can still join us back. I'm sure he would still join us back, yes.
I'm gonna keep trying regardless. Keep trying, but not able to them.
Yeah, it's okay. But you can go ahead, pre-order. Okay, so I have shared the link for you to pre-order. It's bit.ly/the win book. Now you get to pay what you want, a minimum of £20. Okay, but you get to, I mean, you can get to pay £2,000 if you like, or £3,000 or £10,000 for the book. And for those who pre-order, you will get the audio for free. Yes, the audio, even the masterclass. This masterclasses will also be available for you for free when you pre-order. Those who don't pre-order will have to pay for it. So, Apostle, I love the trail of conversation. Please keep it keep it going.
I've known I was on. I know you talking about, and I've talking about how pain together to birth what you want to birth. I was talking about how to be moved by a bird. There's a lot of people coming from your end. I'm not sure what it is. Lots of feedback. Yes.
Yeah, I can go mute for a while.
Yeah. Maybe while, and then I'll mute when you're. Yeah, but I was just talking about how pain is a necessary component of success. It's utterly needed in order to be successful. And I was talking about the different breakdowns of pain. We look at the oyster and how it has to produce, what it has to produce a pearl. We look at a woman in labor and how she has to go through the labor pains in order to birth a child. The pain is a necessary part, but I was also looking at the tragedy of not experiencing pain. The disease that some people have. It's a very rare disease where there are people in this world who don't experience pain. And my shock, because I was really happy for them when I was watching this show by Oprah Winfrey, because if I wanted any superpower on this planet, it would be to not feel pain. I mean, how cool would that be, right? I was completely corrected when I saw these children's parents weeping that their kids could not feel pain. How do you know to remove your hand from a fire if you don't feel pain? How do you get out of your situation if you don't feel pain? How does an eagle know how to soar? The eaglets know it's time to get out the nest if the parent didn't put them through the necessary pain. And then we were also looking at the champion seed, that you made it through the birth canal. You made it through to be where you are today in life. And if you've made it through all these things to be here, then you are what gynecologists call the champion seed. So if you're the champion seed, then you've already begun life from the perspective of a winner. And that's where we got to so far, just to catch you up. I keep trying to get Dr. Stephen back on, and it's still not working. I clicked accept. You're still muted.
Okay, guys. Amazing. Thank you for saying, for just bringing that picture to life, how life would look like if we don't feel pain. We'll literally be dead, like dead, because there's nothing controlling our reflexes and all of that. Yes. And then you mentioned something to me about when you turning the pain into a picture. Come on. Let's go there.
Yeah, it's interesting. So there's a practice I do. It's my practice. But the most powerful change agent is perception. It's the ability to see that makes life so powerful. What you cannot see, you can be afraid of. When I used to be afraid of the dark, is because I couldn't see what I was really looking at. Because I couldn't see, that thing could appear bigger or even worse than it really is in real life. So I learned to learn how to see my pain. And literally, I mean this in the literal sense. When I experience pain now, like let's say suddenly I'm living my life, enjoying my day, and somewhere in me, in my soul, I'm not here talking about a physical pain. I'm talking about emotional pain here. A pain is your body alerting you to something that you're ignoring that needs to be taken care of. And so I will take the time now to find out, what is that? Why am I feeling that? What is that feeling? And I will turn that feeling into a picture. I always do. I turn it into an image. I've got to be able to see it. In my imagination, I'll do this. So let's say I see there's a pain in me. Like, let's say it's here. Oh my goodness, it's right on my chest. Okay, it's pain. What is it? I cannot afford to say, you know, when people say, what's wrong with you? I don't know. You know why we don't know? It's because we don't take the time to find out. We want to ignore it. So I go, do you know what? It's time to know what this pain is. So I sit down and go, okay, I can tell you what it looks like. And then I'll interpret it later. I'll be like, okay, so this pain, to me, if I could describe a pain that I felt recently, it looks like I don't know if you've ever seen this animal. It's called a sea urchin. I don't know if you've ever seen one. I'll show you what a sea urchin looks like. You'll see. It's a crazy creature. But this pain looks like a sea urchin. I'll show you this. Can you see this picture here? That's a sea urchin. Really spiky creatures. Yes, so I'm feeling a pain. It looks like a sea urchin. Are you with me? I will turn it into a picture. This is, by the way, why we dream. Dreams are pictures of emotions. Dreams are pictures of emotions. They are messages from our soul, messages from our spirit to let us know something we're ignoring. You might see a dragon in the dream. That dragon is not necessarily a dragon. It could be your dad. But your soul is converting the picture into something that is so big that you go, oh, you know, Daniel saw beasts coming out of the sea. These were nations. These were different countries, different empires. You don't have to wait till you're asleep to have images. You can convert pain to an image. This is what I do. So I'll try and see the image. What is the image? To me, it's this jagged sea urchin. Now I see it. I'm going to interpret it. Okay, so what do I know about a sea urchin? Really spiky, poisonous. It's protecting itself from predators. Something in me has become a bit poisonous. Something about me has become a bit jagged because I feel the need to protect myself from things that have hurt me. It stagnates, it sits still, it doesn't move, it doesn't swim. Now I'm finding out a bit more about this thing. Now I know what I'm dealing with. Okay, I'm dealing with a state of mind, a state of emotional play where I'm feeling prickly, I'm feeling jagged, now, this thing can happen if you think about anything. If you think about anything. Dr. Steve says he's here. Let me try and accept him back on the call. This thing can happen. Aha! We are back.
Ah, sorry, I'm at home, baby. I show you back.
It was you. You not flip the camera before you went live. Okay, so you're back. I get to leave now, right?
Babe, don't worry, you're fine.
But I hope you be.
My wife
I
is
hope you be
punishing
here.
right now.
No, she's fine. She's fine. Don't worry. You're fine.
I know. Don't mind. Yeah,
Telling
good to
her
be
that she's
back.
fine. You should not worry.
I told her. I told her. But it's good to be back. I was feeling it. Again, I'm back in Nigeria, so I don't need to say more.
Yeah.
I guess the network, I've changed the network. But powerful what you've shared so far. Tell me, can you paste the link for those who want to pre-order so that Apostle can then pin it?
Exactly.
Can you pin it? I'm not sure I was able to pin it earlier. Can you pin it?
Okay, I'll pin it.
Yeah, so people can pre-order the book today and they get to an advantage of paying what they have or pay what they want with a minimum of £20, right? And when you pre-order, you get the e-version for free and you get about 12 masterclasses of the book also for free, only when you pre-order. The moment the right, all those privileges become paid for, right? So yes, that's it. That's the link. It's bit.ly/the win book. That's the link for tonight. After tonight, that link will expire and then the price keeps going up and up, and also the later you wait to pre-order, the more you pay. Yes, that's it.
Awesome.
Okay, good. Apostle, were you done with the last question I asked?
Yes, we actually we were looking at displeasure. I'm done with it. Yes, yes.
And he has just covered painting a picture with the pain. That's what he just
Mm,
dealt with now. Right.
okay.
Interpreting pain.
So do I also need to write down the win while painting the picture? What
That's
the win looks like?
when we get on to another step. So the first thing is to discover the pain. Find out what your displeasure is. Find out what your issue is. The clue of your design is in your displeasure. It's in your pain. That's one of the secrets of who you are, and it's one of the biggest secrets. When you look at pain, pain is vision inverted. That's all it is. Displeasure is pleasure inverted. And if you can
Mm,
right way, like if I have my trousers inside out, you got to put your arm in and pull it out to see what it really looks like. Sometimes
mm,
we're trying to define life not by what we want, but by what we don't want in our life, and that's
mhm,
we end up missing it. So you got to go from displeasure to desire.
mm,
Okay. So you've got to, now I've interpreted the pain. Now I found out what irritates me. Now I found out what frustrates me the most in life. And I'll tell you, when I interpret my own pain, if I sit down, one of the pains I hate is rags. For some reason, it's a big image for me. When I think about poverty, I think about somebody
mm,
who is rags, or somebody who live substandard to who they are. I got all these images. These are my frustrations. Now I got to paint my desire. What's the desired outcome?
mhm,
What is
mhm,
the desired outcome? If I go to a lawyer now, we had to take someone to court who stole a lot of money from one of our organizations, and the lawyer said to me, the first question was, "What's your desired outcome? What do you want to achieve?" We'll go through the
mhm,
overall of the process, but first I need to reverse engineer this. I need you to start the way you intend to finish. I need you to see the end. And this is what
mm,
Habakkuk was told. He was told, write the vision, make it plain. Vision is not
mhm,
a strategy. This is what a lot of people think.
mhm,
They think
mhm,
they're writing the vision, they're writing the strategy. It's
mhm,
not the same thing. Vision,
mhm,
what it looks like when it's done,
mm,
what it looks like at the end. So you have
mm,
to write the desired outcome. What is the desired end?
mm,
Surely there is an end, and the expectation of the righteous shall not be cut short. See, he says, surely there's an end, but for that end to come, there must be an expectation.
mhm,
People go,
mhm,
surely there's an end to my trial. Well, no, your trial can be endless without a vision of the end. Because if you don't
mm.
the end, you don't even know when you fulfilled or accomplished what you're meant to do. At what point
Wow.
have you accomplished? What does it look like when you've succeeded? And so when we
Wow.
call beginning and the end, what it actually means in the original Hebrew is beginnings and endings, not one beginning and one end. It means that there'll be several ends. So you have to achieve one end to see the next end. You can't just be like, oh, what's the total end? Surely there's an end. That means there's an end to this phase of the journey. So you have to be able
Mm,
to write and define the phase you have the capacity for. As far as you
mm,
see, you have to write the end you see the capacity for. So maybe you Dr. Stevens, saw an end where you were in Burj Khalifa and you lived in the tallest building in the world. You have properties in
mm,
different countries around the world, and you saw that. Now you're there. There's a new end you'll see.
mm, mm,
From that perspective,
mm.
you're going to go, wait, there's more
Mhm.
ends. There's more ends to do. But you'll celebrate this end. You'll be able to have a, well done, we did this part. Now that's a milestone. Now let's move to the next end of the journey. And that's what
Mm.
we need to be able to do. Define the desired outcome of this chapter of your journey in life. And then when
Wow.
find it, you're going to see again, you're going to, oh, there's more. And then you can go to the next phase of the journey.
Woo! Woo! So winning is not a destination, it's a journey.
Correct. Correct. It's a journey.
Yeah.
It's a life
Yeah.
journey. And I think you've got to do it so well. You've got to do it so well that your ceiling becomes your children's platform.
Come on.
You've got to do it so
Come on. Come on.
well
Come on.
that when your children come around, what they see.
That's blood. Can we just take a break on this? Don't throw another one. Let's just take a break on that. Your winning
I think it's like
becomes
over. I should be over right now.
your winning becomes your children's platform.
Yes, your
Ah,
ceiling, your
Your
ceiling
ceiling, your
becomes
ceiling becomes your children's platform.
exactly. So you got to win so well. You got to. I mean, you got to push the barrier so high. There was something. Someone was telling me a great tragedy. I think it was a dream by Miles Monroe, and in this dream, there was a man in a coffin with a baton he was holding on to. The moment I heard the dream, you didn't even tell me what it meant. I almost burst out in tears. That this man did not pass on legacy. A good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. And he didn't just say for his children, he said for his children's children. That means you got to have generational impact. That's what legacy is all about. So winning is not just about fulfilling your own. There is no success without succession. You cannot have true, meaningful success. And so legacy has to be thought of very early on. This is why we don't have much time. You know what I'm saying? Our life on earth is a vapor. It's a wisp. It's a breath, here today, gone tomorrow. That's what David said. We're just a whisper in time. That's all we are. And we waste so much of the time that we have. And this is why I love Jesus. I call him the 30-3 ratio. 30-3. Because for 30 years we hear nothing about the man. We hear nothing. He really gives us a very powerful model. 30 years, if we can fulfill the 30-3 ratio, in 3 years he fulfilled his destiny.
Yeah.
Because, so somebody said to me, how long did it take Jesus to fulfill his destiny? Everyone says 3 years. I say 30. It's just that you didn't see what was happening in the 30. 3 is what we record, but 30 is where he was making it. You see, when they say champions are made in the gym, not in the ring,
Come on.
it's what the real we get to see. The real champions are the people right now who are reading books. Those are the real champions. The real champions are people who are practicing business when nobody's watching. The real champions are the people who are doing what they do for no audience. They're not doing it because they want accolades. They're not doing it because they want applause. They are doing it because it's in their DNA to do it. And so if you can fulfill, I think Temmie's frozen, but if you can fulfill the 30-3 principle, which is do not perform in the years of preparation. In the years, see, the unfortunate thing is with our social media, Instagram sort of generation, is we don't do anything without an audience. That's our problem now. We can't really get anything done unless we're applauded. Unless we feel we have a sense of audience, of people watching us, we can barely get anything done. Yet the majority of what successful people do, no one will ever see. And so my life lesson is, it's Ecclesiastes chapter 10. It says, if the axe is dull, more strength is needed. So if your axe isn't sharp, you're going to use your life exhausting yourself, really hacking away. Imagine Jesus could have taken 30 years to fulfill and accomplish his destiny. But in those 30 years, what was he doing? Instead of exerting strength, he was sharpening the axe. He was sharpening the edge. So the time it was time for him to release, in 3 years, he cut right through time and correct all of history for mankind in 3 years.
Wow.
Because
Wow.
he sharpened himself in 30 years. And I think we have to spend time becoming sharp. We have to work on ourselves. We have to work on what we know. We have to work on what we don't know. We have to develop ourselves, spirit, soul, and body. We have to become robust in knowledge and wisdom and understanding. We have to read books upon books. We have to sit at the feet of mentors. We have to learn and learn and learn. We have to practice what we've learned till we become sharp. So when people see us, they go, you are an overnight success. But the overnight success phenomenon is not really overnight success. It's just you saw it happen overnight, but I've really been doing this for 30 years.
Come on. Come on. Wow. Wow. I mean, talking about your ceiling being your children's platform, how does what happened where Bishop T.D. Jakes, you know, passed on the baton for the woman that alludes to his daughter, who is now turning into Women Evolve. You know, how does it apply to this book and to that conversation?
Because that's what you live for. T.D. Jakes has now succeeded. He has passed on to the next generation. This is why you have children. Legacy. It's to live on long after you've died. It's to continue a legend. Back in the day, children, we say now, let a child be what he wants to be. You know, if you know families called Smith, because they came from a line of blacksmiths. They came from a line of stonemasons. They perfected the craft generationally.
Come on.
Today it's like, let my kids be what you see. The Clarks, the music family, the gospel music family, each one of them into music. When I saw Naomi Rain on the weekend, I knew her mum was into music. And then I asked someone, said, I used to do music with her mum. Succession, generational impact. That this thing is in the bloodline. It's in the bloodline. You see, Jesus is apprenticed to his father Joseph, a carpenter. I think, sadly, parents, we've abdicated a lot of our position, which is, yes, we don't force our destiny upon our children. Really force your destiny upon your children. Because for them to be your children, they came from destiny. That means there's something you haven't discovered about your destiny, that you're trying to pass on, maybe your career, but not destiny. And so we need to see again generational impact. And unfortunately, we've been breeded to think this way. We've been breeded to the education system creates non-thinkers, quite literally. It creates go into the occupation cycle. And I've got nothing against jobs. I got nothing against jobs. Once you get into that cycle, that habit of the occupation mindset, you have no time for legacy. You have no time to build for the future. You have no time. This is literally what people in the workplace don't have the luxury of. They have no time because they've made a different trade-off. They wanted money, so they gave their time. But what rich people do, or wealthy minds do, is they want time, so they trade their money. That's what it's all been about.
Absolutely.
More time. And I cannot have time if I'm doing a 40-hour week for somebody. I need time. I need time with my children. I need time with my wife. I need time with my loved ones. I need more time. So that's what it's all about.
Wow, powerful. So how can I interpret the pain? How can I interpret? So I've painted this pain, and I've painted the win. How do you then interpret it? How do you poke it?
So I do it the same way I do my dreams. I dream a lot, you know, actually I don't dream as much as some of my friends do, but when I dream, I dream. But I've learned to daydream. And by daydream, I mean, I've learned to turn my pain into pictures. Okay, Tobi, right now you're not moving where you want to be in life. What's happening? Okay, there's a picture. What's the picture? It's like right now, the only way I can describe it is a 3D block. And it's standing right in front of me. I can tell you what color it is. See, the mind has the ability to interpret whatever it feels into a picture. You've just got to allow it to. It's like a 3D block. The moment I can see it, now I can start decoding it. So what color is it? How thick is it? Where did it come from? Who put it there? I started asking questions. This is literally what I was saying to someone the other day. I said, I feel like this, it's a block. Like something's on the other side, but there's this big wall. And let me tell you what this wall does. I can tell you everything about it. I study my pain. I try to put my hand through it and my hand sinks into it, but it doesn't ever quite break through. It's a block. It's in my way. Some people might even call that a curse or whatever they want to call it. But I will read into it and I say, what are you? Where did you come from? Who put you here? What are you saying to me about myself? Whose voice are you saying it in? This is all part of emotional intelligence. So I sit down with it and I go, okay, this is a block. It's a door to a next season of my life. But it's painful. It's painful to touch. I don't even like touching it because when I touch it, it puts pain inside of me. And I don't want to go through that pain. Oh, wait, don't want to go through that pain again. What is that pain? And I'm sitting down decoding this thing. Because sometimes what we want to do in our world, we want to think positively. Everybody wants to think. There are books called Power of Positive Thinking. But you can't think positively till you've learned how to think negatively. And that's a scary thing. But let me put it for you. Let me put it into perspective for you. If I go to the doctors, and God forbid I had cancer, and my doctor gives me paracetamol, what does my doctor do? My doctor has to first diagnose my current issue. Then the doctor knows what to prescribe. In the same way, if you do not spend time in diagnosis of what is your issue, what's your problem, what's going on with you, why? Because some people on this call are not procrastinators in terms that they're lazy. They are procrastinators in terms that they are their own worst enemy. And something in them is keeping them away from pain. It's not happiness. Something in them is trying to avoid a pain they've experienced at some point or some. And if they don't spend time to go into diagnosis of what's going on, then they'll just reason that they're lazy. They'll reason that they're stupid. They'll reason that they're dumb. They'll reason so many different things if they don't take the time to find out, well, what is really going on with me?
Wow. So in your own life, how has pain and painting it help you to win so that people can have a very relatable story that's happened to you?
Okay, so there was a time in my life I was very shy. Very shy. Oh my goodness. So shy. I could not even look someone in the eye. If you were older than me, I definitely couldn't. And I knew if I'm going to be successful in business, I need to be a communicator. I need to be a networker. Shy. So I meet a coach. And the coach says, well, Toby, talk to me. Well, first the coach said, Toby, we're going to break the shyness off of your life. I said, okay, that's my goal by the end of the day, to break shyness. I said, okay, so what should I do? She says, the first person you meet, and listen, I do not advise anybody do what she said to me to do. Please take it. So, this woman was not born, wasn't saved or anything, so please don't send me nasty letters. But it said, the first person you meet, just say, oh, I had a dream about you naked last night. And I said, no way am I going to say that to any human. I said, no way on God's green earth am I going to do that to a human being. Anyway, so I go to the bathroom. I go to the bathroom and I'm washing my hands. And a guy walks in. Oh, I think the line is frozen again. Are you still there? Talk to Stephen. Are you still there? Oh boy, your internet's gone. Okay, I'll continue my story till he gets back on. But guys, you still there? I don't know what's going on with my Instagram. A lot of people are saying that they can't see my Instagram showing up on their feed, like I'm being shadow banned or something. Maybe I said something that the powers that be don't like. So guys, if you can do me a favor and please help me share this Instagram live and tell as many people as possible to join the live. For some reason, usually we have at least 300-400 people on my Instagram lives. I don't know what's going on today. But anyway, let me finish my story. So she says to me, the first person you see today, you tell them, she said, you tell them I had a dream about you naked last night. I said, there's no way I'm going to say to any living soul on this planet that I had a dream about them naked or nothing. So anyway, what happens is I'm in the bathroom, shy as can be. Okay, I'm washing my hands. People don't think I dealt with shyness, but I'm telling you, if you gave me a microphone to preach, I could preach. But I was very, very shy of people around me. So after the microphone was down, I finished speaking, people would want to come to say hi to me. They would want to greet me. And I hated when people would come to speak to me after meetings. I absolutely hated it because then to me, it was like it's just a yuck feeling. I didn't know how to small talk. If I talk, it's got to be meaningful. I never understood small talk. But anyway, so I'm just bringing back on Dr. Stephen, but I'm in this place and I'm in the bathroom hearing what my coach said to me to say in my head. Hello, Dr. Stephen. So I'm hearing what my coach said to me to say. My coach said, I had a dream about you naked last night. So I'm washing my hands. Somebody walks in wearing a suit. And the voice came up in my head, say it to him. Had a dream about you naked last night. I said that I'm giggling. I said, I'm never gonna say this. And then I thought saying, well, if I'm considering saying this, then maybe I can say something, less. So I said, hey, that's a nice suit you're wearing. You must be going somewhere nice. Continue washing my hands. The guy says, and he's next to me washing his hands, so we look at each other in the mirror. And the guy says, thank you. That's very kind. Sorry. And then I said, must be going somewhere, because I figured, wow, he responded. I didn't die. So I said more. I said, must be going somewhere nice. He said, my brother just died, and I'm going to bury him. Now I panicked, and I froze up. And I said, what have I done? Oh, no. And I said to him, that's nice, bye. And I ran out the bathroom. I mean, I ran. That is not the response you give to someone. Now I would say, I'm sorry to hear that. How are you coping? But I didn't know what to say, because I had serious levels of social anxiety. But I was so proud of myself after that I at least put myself out there to speak. So I go back to my coach and I tell my coach, my goodness, I said something during the lunch break to someone in the bathroom. And she laughed when she heard the story about how I said, oh, that's nice, that your brother died and ran out. And she said, Toby, close your eyes. Close my eyes. And she said, have a conversation with me. I'm having a conversation and I'm saying, hi, how are you? And I'm laughing while I'm having she goes, why are you laughing? So what do you mean? She goes, why are you laughing at yourself? You're not taking yourself seriously while you're talking to me. I said, yeah, okay. She goes, whose voice can you hear in your head while you're speaking? Nobody's ever asked me that before. And instantly, I could hear a voice of somebody who criticized me when I was younger. And they criticized me in the harshest way possible. And this voice, basically, I could hear their voice in my head telling me, no matter what I say, I'm stupid, I'm a dunce, nobody wants to listen to me or hear what I have to say. And I did not know that the current version of me was being held back by a version of me. I think Dr. Stephen has dropped out again, but I did not know that the current version of me was being held back by a version of me that was still a child, a version of me that was still imprisoned by what someone said. Do you understand what I'm saying? I didn't know, and I could see this person. Now I have a picture of them. I could see this person, and this person was making me feel, and listen, you can turn it into a picture. I felt like a cup that was empty. It's the only way I can describe it. I look at that cup and I go, oh, that means, so remember, every picture has a meaning. So that means I feel as if I have nothing to contribute to the world. I feel disadvantaged. I feel set back. I feel as though there is nothing I can say in the situation. What I did not know is that voice fed into that person's voice had fed into how I perceive myself and how I orient in the world. And she said to me, what are you going to say to that voice? What are you going to say to it? And I said, what do you mean? She's going to speak to it right now. I said, oh, this is awkward. This is strange. She said, why is it strange? It's speaking to you. Speak back. So I closed my eyes and I said, first thing I need you to know, is I really resent the way you've spoken to me. And I really resent myself for allowing you to speak to me that way. And I really am angry with you. But I know if I hold on to this anger for too long, it will swallow me up. So I forgive you. I forgive you for the way you made me feel. And I forgive myself for allowing myself to feel that way. I tell you what, shyness broke off of me that day. It doesn't mean that I don't have social awkwardness, but it means that I find a sense of boldness now, even in the midst of awkward situations. And I can now, I now find I have something to contribute. I have something to give to the conversation. I have something to bring. But it all came from these moments, these trigger moments of development of emotional intelligence. I had to develop that sense of emotional intelligence to know there's another voice. There's a phantom here that is holding my present person. And this is how powerful the subconscious mind is. You know, if you've been heartbroken, say at 13, and suddenly you smell the perfume of the girl who broke your heart at 13, but now you're 30, 40, you're back to 13 and heartbroken like that. That's how powerful the subconscious mind is, because it operates on images and pictures. And this is why people aren't successful. People are not successful, not because they're not making conscious changes. It's because they're not changing the subconscious that controls the conscious criteria. Subconscious is a buildup of images and pictures. And if I cannot, before Dr. Stephen, you became who you are today, you had to see it. There was a point in your life you saw it, whether you know it or not, whether you activated the principle or not. There was a point in your life that you saw yourself owning skyscrapers. There was a point in your life you saw yourself owning buildings. There was a point in your life that a new picture had to interject your current expression. And when you saw that new picture, it drove your subconscious to give your conscious instructions to fulfill the picture that it's already seen. In the same way, if we don't give the subconscious mind a new picture, a new criteria for functioning, a new vision, then the conscious mind will not yield instructions to bring about its fulfillment. And what the conscious mind will do, if we're not careful, is it will program us to failure because we have a failed image of ourselves. And I had a failed image or a failed self-perception in social situations, like I had nothing to offer. Now put me in a social situation, I have something to contribute, and I have something that you need. That's my new picture, my new image. And if you would only walk up to me to discover the treasure that's inside of me, you'll realize that your life is going to be much easier by knowing me. That's the new image that I have, the new picture I have of myself. And I guess that's what we vibe. That's what people feel. That's our vibe, or it's what people feel. People feel the picture we have of ourselves. There were people in school you bullied. You couldn't explain why everybody bullied that person. It's what they gave off. That person didn't know they were releasing something in the atmosphere that said, bully me, bully me, bully me, I'm a victim. They never said it with their words, but we can all tell at an intellectual level that this person needs to be bullied. Then the leader in school, we all know who the leader in our school was, in our class. We all wanted to be like that person. That person had an extreme sense of self. And because of that presence of self, looking back at those pictures, go back to the pictures of the person who you used to look up to. They were ugly, but to you, they were so attractive. You couldn't explain it. Now you look back, you'll see they have acne. Everything is, they're not even good looking. In fact, today, they're not even as good looking as they were as children. But you were so drawn to them. Why? Something they were giving off, something they were vibing, something they were creating.
Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. I don't even have the words. That is so true. Something they were vibing, something they were giving off. My goodness. Whoa. Oh God. You've messed us up, Apostle. Come on. You did not warn us. You did not warn us.
Your tribe, your vibe determines your tribe. You know, if you want winning people around you, you create them. You create them. At some point, if I had to realize in my own life, at some point, I was attracting betrayal. There was a dear friend of mine who said to me, "You seem to have cycles where people betray you a lot." I said, "Can I ask you something?" I said, "This is why I call this guy my best friend, because the Bible says, faithful are the wounds of a friend." If you have a real friend will wound you, but they'll wound you because they love you. And he said to me, he said, "Are you sure you're not attracting this to your life?" And I was angry with him at first. Then I sat down again, did what I do. I went into my imagination world. And I started to pick up that somewhere inside of me, I expect the people around me to betray me. And so at some point, it's not this. You see, sometimes we think it's discernment, but what if you're creating it? What if you're not actually discerning that this person is a betraying person? What if you're creating your betrayers around you? You know, because if you keep going through things in life, like somebody once said to me, they said, "Oh man, they go, I've had 10 boyfriends, and each one of them was a pig or a dog or whatever." I said, "Excuse me. But in all those 10 scenarios, at each crime scene, did you notice there was one common denominator?" Said, "Who?" I said, "You. You had every single one of those crimes." Because you had every single one of those crimes, at some point, you're responsible for what's happening in your life. I've realized that that's the power of the subconscious mind. That we can actually, this is why it's so dangerous to watch news that is sort of, even the news that's getting into, and I don't mean to make this racial because I'm aware that I have followers who are black and whatever, but I'm nervous about what's getting into the black consciousness, particularly in America, where Americans are being taught that they are victims. And they are victims of something that happened over 100 years ago, slavery, right? And it's becoming ingrained in the subconscious. And I'm talking about the universal subconscious of what it means to be black now. So black has been synonymous with poverty, the projects, never able to get out, the struggle. And if that's the thing, see, the problem is, you know, it was a man called Patrick Bet-David that said, culture is strategy for lunch. It doesn't matter what your strategy is. If you have a culture now that dictates that because you're black, you're a victim, because you're black, you don't even need to teach your children that that's what it means to be black. That culture will come upon them and teach them. You know, if you get a flea farm, people have these people do these projects where they get flea farms or grasshopper farms, or they call it a flea circus. and they put these fleas in a container. They release them, and the fleas grow. And let's say the container's this high, but let's say the flea can jump over 20 inches, but you've only put in a container that it jumps to 3 inches. That flea will jump to 3, jump to 3. After a while, it will start jumping to 2.5 to stop itself from hitting the ceiling. When it has children, the children will never breach 2.5. And the children have never even tested the full height. The children will just do exactly what they saw their parents do. Same thing that happens with us. We have parents who basically told us, that's how they live. We don't live like this. That's how the other side live across the road and blah, blah, blah. And this is not for us. This is for them. All white people are rich and us black people we're all broke, we're poor, we're meant to be, and because of the white guy, so this is why we vote Democrat and you vote Republican, and you get that into the consciousness. Now, once that's in the consciousness, you don't have to think anymore. It forms into habits. And what is habit? Habit is automated thinking. That's all habit is. Habit is automated thinking. Habit is when my thoughts have gone into my automatic immune system. And now, automatically, you get a boxer, and you click your fingers around a boxer, the boxer will punch you in the face. Because the automatic responses and reflexes of that boxer has been trained to punch you when you move anyhow around them. You do that to a non-boxer, that person's automatic immune system has not been built to react to it. The same way, we have to train our automatic immune system to react in the appropriate way to success, so that we learn how to fail forward constantly in life, that we learn how to keep on pushing the boundary and the barrier, and we learn how to win in life. But that can only be done when we get out of the flea farm, so to speak, and we learn that we can jump much higher than we thought we could, and we break our own mental limitations.
Right. Thank you so much, Apostle Tobi, for sharing that. That is so true. And I'm sure a lot of us here, we can absolutely relate to the examples you're sharing, the old flea thing, and then they can't go up because of the conditioning. Right. So, guys, I need to remind you, we have just 20 orders of the book currently. 20, yes. And I know that, we have 150 people here live. So I want to remind you again that the book is open for pre-order. Right. When you pre-order tonight, you get to pay how much you want. You get to pay 50, 100, anything pounds you want, minimum of 20 pounds, right? And then you get the audio version for free. Yes, the audio version for free. And you also get these masterclasses. You agree that this kind of thing, you should listen to it over and over and over. You get this masterclasses well edited, and all you will hear is Apostle Tobi's voice, and it will go to you as well for free when you pre-order tonight. After tonight, that deal is off the table. I will deactivate the link in about 2 hours. So if you want to pre-order the book, tonight is the night. The next time you see the link, it's not going to be the same amount again. And all these goodies will not go with it. So I want Apostle to wrap up with just 2 more questions.
I would like everyone who has gotten value tonight to just say thank you, Apostle Tobi. Can we all just type it? Just type thank you, Apostle Tobi, because this is really, really good. This is really, really good. I look forward to the book. And by the way, good news for all of you who are pre-ordering, you will get it in December. The book will be out on 7th of January, but you get it in December. It's so early. We all look forward to reading your review even before the book is formally out. But you are part of this history, this awesome book. You're being part of this live show. Next week, please invite people. We should get a huge, at least you got value. So note the date, tell everybody, let them know, hey, the pre launch of the Win book by Apostle Tobi Arayomi is on. You don't want to miss those conversations we've been having. It's going to be a great, great one.
Absolutely.
Is it from my end again? What's going on? What's going on
Nigeria
tonight?
network dealing with you. Okay, Apostle, there's a question from Temi Speaks. You know, my namesake. I have to take it. She says, what did you do consciously to break the cycle of betrayal you were attracting? And in my opinion, it's not only about betrayal, just about any negative, cycle that you were attracting. I know it will be in the book, but if you don't mind, just share a bit here tonight.
The biggest thing is an object continues in its motion until another object opposite or equal hits it. That's one of the laws of aerodynamics, that an object will continue in motion. Same thing with a thought. A thought will continue in its motion until something opposite or equal of strength comes to interact it. This is what we have to do. We have to replace thoughts with thoughts. We have to cast out imagination by creating new, greater thoughts. So how do you do this? Well, one of the things I did in my own life that helped me to become wealthy was, for an entire year, I thought about one thing and one thing only. Every time I go into my private closet, my secret place, I would sit down and think on this one verse. God gives me the power to prosper, that he may establish the covenant he made with my father. And I would mutter that to myself. I would think on it. If my mind wandered, I'd bring my mind back with my words, and I would imagine it, and I would pray it, and I'll think about it, then I'll imagine it, then I'll pray about it. I did it until I created a mental universe inside of myself, where I could see the things that I was walking in, where I could see how much money I was making per month. I wrote a check on my wall to promise to pay myself £1 million by whatever I could do to change my subconscious. I did it. The most powerful agents of subconscious change are, number one, what you see. What you see. Powerful thing. And I'm not here talking about sight, I'm talking about insight. The ability to see when your eyes are closed. But also sight, put things around you that you want inside you.
Right.
The second agent of subconscious change is what you say. The word meditation to the Eastern mind is different from the Western mind. Western mind says empty your mind. Eastern mind says fill your mind. So Eastern meditation is all about muttering to yourself what you want to see in your life. So I said, I'm a champion. I'm a champion. You look at Serena Williams. Do you know what she was doing during her games? They actually zoomed in on one of her notes, and her note was written, I'm a champion. Like someone punishing themselves with lines. I'm the greatest in the world. I'm the greatest in the world. I'm the greatest in the world. What was she doing? That's called subconscious programming. You see what I'm saying? What was Muhammad Ali doing when he just kept talking, fight like a butterfly, sing like a bee? I get so fast, I get out of bed. I can flick on the light before I get out of bed. What's he doing? Subconscious program. He's not just programming himself, he's programming the world around him. He's teaching the world how to react to him.
Come on.
The third agent of subconscious
this is good.
is emotion. You must learn to feel successful.
Come on.
And
Come on.
The first feeling of successful people is gratitude. You must learn to feel successful. And the first feeling of successful people is gratitude. Second feeling of successful people is peace. I protect my peace like you could not believe. I must live. I cannot be anxious. Don't come and bother me with your wahala. Let your trouble.
In fact,
your
I married peace. I married peace. That was.
I'll mind the business. Come and gossip to me about what that person's doing. I don't care. Come and tell me that the world is colliding into the sun. I don't care. I need peace. I want to be like, I want to sleep in a storm. That's when we know you're prosperous, when you're not moved anymore. You know, rich people aren't moved. Ask a king if he panics when something happens. The king doesn't panic because the king is aware of the resources at their disposal to be able to attack any problem. When you're in peace, you're aware of the resources at your disposal. Peace is only achieved by stillness, by the way. You have to find a way to be still enough to engage with peace, to let that peace umpire your heart. The Bible calls it shalom, shalom. It's the peace of prosperity. The peace of prosperity. The third emotion that you've got to cultivate is joy. If you're going to do this thing, please find joyful people. There's nothing worse than miserable passengers on the journey to success.
Hey!
Enjoy the journey. You gotta
Wait. Continue.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Wait now. Don't
leave me.
just download like that. Wait. Let's breathe on this. Yeah. Okay.
Let's drink water on that one first.
Yes. So let's. The one thing you can do is to surround yourself with miserable people on your way to success.
Yes, you can't do that. You can't. You got to move away from miserable people. You can't do them. You can't be around them. You know, the whole thing, misery loves company. You can't be around them. And they'll make you feel bad. They'll make you feel guilty that you don't feel sorry for them. They'll tell you, I'm going to kill myself. Listen, they won't kill themselves. If they're telling you to kill themselves, they're not going to. Most people kill themselves. They're going to do. They just want, most people don't want direction. They want attention. And you have to define between the two. So if you direction, I'm here for you. Even if you're sad, I'm here for you. But if you just want attention, well, you might need to, I don't know, you might need to go on Oprah or something else, because that will not help you to achieve success. What will help you is, okay, I feel this pain. Now I need direction on how to get out of the pain. Some people are being helped. They're addicted. And some helpers are enabled by people who are addicted to them. Some people have a hero complex and they want to be everybody's hero. They want to save people. They want to rescue people. This is one thing I had to ask God to deliver me from, because I'm hugely compassionate. But let me say, I don't have a hero complex because, let me say, people who have hero complex, they love to be needed. I don't love I love being exceeded. That's when you're a successful human being, when you can raise people who exceed you, who do better than you've done. So it's finding those three emotions, and you can cultivate them. You can cultivate gratitude. You can cultivate peace. You know, if something's troubling your peace, then just go to a quiet room, play some music, sit down for about half an hour to an hour and think about good things. By the time you're done, I'll tell you what, there will be so much peace that surpasses understanding. You won't even know what to do with it. You'll just feel so at rest in yourself. And then you can cultivate joy. Just learn to laugh. Learn to laugh. And then the final changer of the subconscious mind is physiological. I personally believe is one of the most powerful ones, because physiology is the language your body is telling your soul. So if you slouch your shoulders for half an hour, you will be depressed. Hang your head low for 10 minutes, you will be depressed. There's a great TED talk called the Superman pose, where this woman found that you can boost your immune system by over 30% just by standing in a Superman pose for about 10 minutes a day. Yet the Bible's been teaching this all along. I lift my hands to the Lord. I lift my hands like the morning sacrifice. You just do this for half an hour and just look up every single day. And you learn to dance. You learn to change physiologically. You learn to smile more. You learn all these things. If you learn to do these things at a physiological level, you know, if you smile, you release the same amount of endorphins as if you won the lottery just from smiling. Just on your face. You know, so many people have miserable faces. Miserable. Have you ever seen a church where the pastor's really preaching and really happy, and then the cameraman goes on the faces of the people? And you can tell those people aren't listening. Just their faces are switched off. You see? And once gravity takes place on the face, you're turned off. You gotta win with your smile. You gotta win physiologically. Like, even if you're sick, don't allow your physiology to tell you you're sick. You know, today I had to get up, I had to get about doing things because I cannot allow my body to tell my soul, I'm not sick. I have a sickness, but I'm not sick because my body has it. But the real me is my spirit. The terrible thing is when that sickness gets into my spirit, that's when people start going, my diabetes, my back pain, my this. And they start owning it because it becomes, sickness becomes their identity. And even if you talk against it, they get angry with you. How dare you? You don't understand my depression. You don't get my this. No, your body has something that you can trace out if your spirit is strong enough to push it out. You just got to keep your spirit.
Spirits don't die.
Yes. So you got to make the physiological changes. You got to wear clothes that make you feel different. You got to wear clothes that make people address you differently. Do you know you can spend your way to financial freedom? Every once a month, take yourself to an expensive restaurant. Take yourself there. Every so often, buy a first-class ticket. Buy it months in advance and it'll be cheaper. Every so often, go on Uber XL, not Uber nonsense, not Uber Yanga Prius. Go on Uber Mercedes, where you can say every so often. You don't need to do this all the time. You just need to give yourself a taste of the future that you want to normalize. Give yourself a taste at least every so often. Nando's every so often. Go to Ritz or go to a Hakkasan or go to a nice restaurant every so often. Not every day McDonald's. You know, go
spend your way to wealth. You said. You said spend your way to wealth.
Yes. Every so often, buy something that tokenizes the future you want to normalize. Get something that gives you a sense. This is what I want to become my normal experience. For God, children of Israel in the promised land, God said, go take the fruits, go take the grapes, go take some tasters. You need a token. You need a physical manifestation of a reality. This is why we say faith is the evidence. If you don't have right now evidence of the future you own, then you don't own it. We need something now. Whether that's a 3D model in your office of the real estate you're going to own, that now I know you got faith. I see it. Whether that's the private jet on your table sitting there while you're working, you can see a miniature of your private jet. Now I know you got faith. You need to collect receipts. When we say faith is the title deed of ownership, that means you want to show me your house, you give me the title deed. God said, Abram, I can't bless you. I need to change your name. Abraham is the one I can bless. I can't bless Abram. I need to give you a new name so I can give you proof so your future can recognize you as it's coming. Right now, some people, I relate it to different experiences I have at the airport. There's sometimes I go to the airport and I travel to places and I'm looking for the person to pick me up. The person saying, where are you? I said, I'm by Starbucks. I'm at Starbucks. They said, there's 5 Starbucks here. This happened to me in Germany. And so I said, listen, I'm going to sit here at this Starbucks. You'll go to every Starbucks till you find me because I'm tired now. I got 6 suitcases. The person tell me. My second experience happened to me in Dubai. I come out the airport. I had booked the VIP service, so they had my name on something, and I walked towards my name and call. The third one, they had a picture of me. This happened to me in Nigeria. Suddenly, a convoy of security people grabbed my suitcases. Mr. Raimi, let's go this way. You need to send your picture to your future so that your future can pick you up. Some of us are looking right now. Your future, where are you? Where are you? Where are you? I'm here. I'm here.
We're done. We're
Okay.
done. We're done.
Apostle,
It's
please, please,
okay.
please. It's okay. It's
We're
okay.
done for today. Thank you.
Somebody was asking that how can all of this fit into a book? Was each question.
Jesus, this is a lot.
He asked, how will all of this fit into a book? That was a very valid question, which is why we are making this video a masterclass available for you for free. Available to you for free only when you pre-order the book tonight. Apostle, I will give you just 2 hours to keep this replay on your page so that these people here can go and tell their friends that there is something they need to watch this night. Because by tomorrow, the video will be pulled down. And only those who pre-ordered, in fact, I will offer to email it personally, only to those who pre-ordered tonight. You are the ones that will get this awesomeness.
Awesomeness.
For free, guys. I've seen just 30 pre-orders. 30. Okay. Apostle, let's share the grace. I think we are done.
I want to say I look forward to next week. I'm excited, to be part of this. This is awesome. This is good. This is good stuff. This is good stuff. Thank you once again for sharing and for not holding back. Thank you for having this great desire to write this book, Win. This is powerful. And it's funny that a lot of what you've said, as much as we've never said it, it's just like the same way you said, I should have been the one with the investment chart in the Rolls Royce. I'm still doubting if I've never said some of these things to you before. Like, how come it's like he's just dishing out my secrets?
He had a peep into your brain.
Yes, like someone just picked my brain and is making it public. I'm like, no, don't do that.
Doctor, no. You can't have it all now. You have the Rolls Royce Pro. Please.
Don't let them know.
Let Apostle have his win, please. You already have the Rolls Royce. Please. Apostle, you have your win book here. Don't worry. It is safe.
I'm like, no. I should be the one uttering this.
You will write your own after he has finished his own. Oh my goodness.
Because this is why I live in Burj Khalifa, is to tokenize it.
Yes.
Right? So you just, it's just, these are powerful things. I hope people will execute. As people read the book, I hope they will execute, because these are real. This is not, and what I love about this book is, and those are the kind of books I love. I love books that are real, right? It's not aspire to acquire to retire. This is the things we have tasted, the things we have handled, right? We have handled these things. Right, and it's amazing that you are able to share. Thank you once again. I have to release you so you can go rest. Hopefully next week.
Come on, I saw your purchase now. You paid £50. Please tell me where is your house. I owe you a hug or something extra.
Who paid 50?
You paid £50 for the book, and that is just so noble, so beautiful. I saw some of you also paid £30. That is great. But Connect D Simon did £50, and that is so good. Mackenzie did 30. Vio Pato did 30. I celebrate you guys. Well done. Sylvia just paid now, and she did 30 as well. That is so good. So again, I will repeat myself just in case you don't hear me earlier on, right? I said, when you pre-order tonight, I will disable this link in about an hour and in about 2 hours anyway. And then you will not have the opportunity to put a price that you want. The minimum would be higher than what you have now, right? And then you get the audio version of this book. So you have the book itself and then the audio. That is, you can listen to the book while you're driving or something on your Audible for free. And then we will put together a minimum of 3 master classes. 6 master classes minimum on this book, and you get to have those for free as well. Now, guess what, guys? Now, I was not sent this one, but I'm feeling this vibe. We would have a Q&A session with everybody who buys this book at least 1 month after the book has been published. That way you have 1 month to read your book and then 1 month to put together all the questions you have in the world about the book. And then Apostle will make himself available to you on a Zoom call, and he will just take your questions until Mama calls. What do you guys think of me? Do you love me or do you adore me? Which of them? Which of them? Is love or adore? Let me know. Someone asking about the link. The link is pinned. It is bit.ly/the Win Book. The Win Book. And it's blank. You can put a minimum of £20, but again, you can put much more. We've seen 50. I wonder who will put 100. If you put 100 and you're in the UK, I will pay you a visit on Sunday. I'll buy you ice cream. Hey, is that Elijah? How you doing, boy? No, who is
fine boy, no pimple.
Not so. Okay, so Loriana loves and adore me. Fantastic. So I think we need to share the grace now, and let's Apostle go.
Let's go. Yes. Let's go. Good night, everybody. Thank you, Apostle. Any final words?
Yes.
No final words. Just thank you to both of you. This wouldn't have been possible without the two of you. I've had books inside of my heart for a long time, and when I met both of you, you were like, you must write. For people who don't know Dr. Stephen Temi.
Look at my hair, my awesome hair.
I'm not. Can we, Stephen, should we drop Temi off the call?
Okay, I'll save you the trouble. Bye.
No, playing. Just wanted to appreciate you and Temi as well for pulling this out of me and making sure that I get this book together. Both pushed me, and I appreciate it. Those are my words.
You're welcome. Good night, everybody. Go win.
See you soon. Bye bye.